Hi, good afternoon. Hello, how are you doing? I'm Peter from True Blue Tie. For instance, I do these videos like before and after each Manchester City games, a preview and my review of the game and anything else happened to City and any thoughts I may have about regarding Manchester City and what I've seen. As a Manchester City fan from 12,000 kilometres away in lovely Thailand, that's where I am right now, for instance, and I am basically just my review and what I think. For instance, yeah, and you can A, agree with me, or B, not. I'm a Mancunian, for instance, born in Manchester, just outside the Etihad, literally in that area. And yeah, and I've lived in Thailand 3 years. For instance, I'm getting feeling the effects of the sun, so yeah, this is my normally daily attire, for instance, shorts and t-shirts, and that's about it. For instance, welcome to Thailand. Temperature today is Friday. It's around about 2:30 in the afternoon. um, it's yeah, temperature's knocking about 30 degrees. Average temperature should be around about 31, 32. But what's it called? But you've got the field temperature, which is knocking into the high 30s. It is the time of the year, for instance, for this, and it's we're heading towards the hot season, not the high season. We're in the high season at the moment, as far as tourists are concerned. But we're heading to the hot season. And the biggest thing over here, for instance, if you're coming over here this time of the year, is the air pollution, and the air pollution is so unbelievable, and it's kind of like deceiving. And if you're coming from a Western country, for instance, you're going to see the air pollution, and you're going to see it, and it acts like if you go into a fog or something like that or a mist, and so for instance, you kind of like, what it is. In the center of the cities like Guntep Mahanakham, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, where it's its worst. For instance, it's more visible. Over here, it's in Jomtien, for instance, in Pattaya, for instance, it's a little bit less. It's not as visible unless you go down to the beach area, or as I like to do, for instance, because I have another passion of mine, which is aviation, and I look up and see the planes, and the plane is flying directly over my head, and I can't see the bloody thing, whatever. So yeah, what does that mean? Well, it means that, for instance, a lot of people are wearing masks. A lot of people are going working from home. A lot of people, for instance, getting breathing problems. Asthma is on decrease. In decrease. So if you got any respiratory problems, it's a bad look for Thailand. It really is. Chiang Mai, I believe, is really really bad. But it also depends on what's it called. It's called by the fire burning, the crops that they burn up off for the after they've been harvested, etc. They burn up the crops in the what's it called, the rice crops, etc. in the fields in Thailand, in Cambodia, in Vietnam, and what's it called, and what those the easterly wind just brings all over here. And for instance, it don't come over like a big smoke. Well, you probably say that you can see it probably, but it kind of forms. So, for instance, yeah, it's more than worse in the mornings. Kind of dries up a little bit, gets a little bit better. What's called during the afternoons, but sometimes like if it just hangs around. Um, how do I? So yeah, so at the moment, it is getting quite bad with the with everything, and for instance, they are blaming it. The Thai government have kind of like saying, oh, well, it's something to do with the old buses or people's car emissions, but it's mainly the burning of the crops. Okay, and they're doing whatever they can to address. They are addressing it now, but they need a better plan than just saying don't burn, etc. They would talk about incesting from Buddhist temples, and forget it. It's not That's nothing to do. It's the burning of the crops, and unless they come up with an idea of telling of a compensation for farmers not to burn them, etc., then we're going to have this problem, and it's going to get worse. I think it started earlier this year. I really do think it's earlier. But if you're coming over here again, it's not going to spoil your holiday. If you've got respiratory problems, it might. But if you're coming over here on a holiday, for instance, you probably won't, because the kids you probably won't know is you just got to be very careful on things like exercising, and yeah, exactly, just exercising, and yeah, and you got to be careful about exercising. For instance, don't exert yourself like I see a lot of Falangs do. They come over here, especially lads. They got the t-shirt off, they're running down, and it's 30 odd degrees, trying to show off the abs, running around without a t-shirt, bottle of water, sunglasses on, of course. Never forget the sunglasses. Baseball cap, maybe whatever, running down the beach at a ridiculous amount of hour. What's it called? And not doing himself any favors, the body any favors whatsoever. So yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Anyway, so for instance, I'll put that to one side, and we're going to hit my head talk about the football. Yes, Manchester City against Chelsea. Got that tomorrow. It's a @5 kickoff in the United Kingdom, which means it's not as bad, but it's still bad because it's a midnight 30 kickoff for me. So I'm gonna be another one of these silent cheering for Man City type things, etc. Because my lady will be sat in the bed next to me, for instance, in sleep. And once I go, because you've got to be up for work in the morning, and I've got to respect. And for instance, so that's that, and that's that. How do I feel about it? Well, let's say we'll come and get after the Copenhagen game, Copenhagen, for instance, and the performance that was just majestic. And even Copenhagen, for instance, did whatever they did to injure Manchester City players and cause us issues. Yes, they probably been a bit rough, but the way they played, etc., was quite poor, really. And for instance, and how the hell Man United got beat by them? You honestly, you sit there and go, wow. God, they scored 4 goals against you. How bad you have to be, that team, Man United. Jesus. Honestly. Oh, God. I hate putting those two words together. Man and United, honestly. It's really terrible. Anyway, so it's something as a Man City fan, as a Manchester City fan, you can't stand putting those two words together. Yeah. Anyway, so after the where we played there, for instance, and I was really upset for Jack, and because he looked really positive. I saw Inside City just before, and he looked really up for it, the games. The team was really good atmosphere and everything. Yeah, we had a bozo moment with Eddie, and but other than that, for instance, fantastic performance, and hopefully, what's it called? I can't see them regardless coming back and winning, scoring 3 goals against City, and and for us not reply. So I can safely percent 99%, but 90% saying that we're for a typical City fan. Never be 100%. Anyway, but other than that, for instance, I'm very delighted. Now, I'm here before the press conference because they were 7 hours ahead. For instance, so it's probably about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning where you guys are now. So, for instance, it's gonna be in the afternoon. But from what I hear, and we haven't heard anything from rumors. I was listening to LB channel this morning with Martin, and we had this Arsenal fan on, etc. Since day long. But when those two guys get together, they talk sense, Man City. I love listening to that guy, for instance, Martin and LB. And if not, they don't give bias Man City, and they just talk about City. Typical City and City Extra, as well as Big Steve. For instance, do a good job as well. I thought Big Steve and his chat with Saeed, and normally I thought Saeed, because United have coming out of the little hole a bit because they've scored a few goals. He started pushing Big Steve a little bit. I thought, oh no, unbelievable. Talking about Saka and Foden and nonsense. That not even a competition. Foden's by far better. And no, I thought he was a little bit towards Big Steve yesterday, and I saw that. So, yeah, get back in your box, Saeed. But other than that, for instance, I'm going in. I don't know anything about the injuries, but I heard from was it LB in 1998. He was talking about how Man City are. Bernardo Silva had a knock. I saw him on his where he got the knock. The guy should have gone off. Shocking decision, challenge, and could see him cut right through his protective sock, etc. And yeah. But I believe it's just a knock. So, for instance, hopefully, for instance, the ice baths and what's it called have made a big difference, and he's a lot better. So I believe he's going to be okay. The game, right? It's a must-win game like the all are, but this one is going to be an interesting game because, quite honestly, for instance, if we win this one, okay, which I do believe we will, and if we win against Brentford midweek, we're on top of the table with points. So, for instance, and that is going to put the absolute of the backsides of Arsenal and Chelsea, Arsenal and Liverpool. So I think it's going to be it's going to be really interesting to see that. For instance, if we're top of the league, and like so if we win, and see how things are from then. The media will be. I'm sure the 115 charges will come out double, because no, can't have Man City winning in the fourth. But it really will make a statement. I just said, yeah, will we win? Yeah, I just like I don't know the full starting lineup. I don't know who's fresh and who's not. I do believe, for instance, we were kind of like in second and third gear, for instance, against Copenhagen, for instance, and the way we're playing at the moment, and with so many good players playing well, the likes of Phil Foden, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, the likes of Bernardo Silva, and the defence looks solid. And with Aki and left back, Guardiola, give Guardiola to the end of the season, that kind of thing, etc. Let him just bed in, put Aki left there. What's it called? Just keep the same defence as what we did, etc. I think we will be all right there. For instance, I think the team setup, etc. Starting lineup was just brilliant. We've got room for improvement with Oscar Bob or Daku on the left. I'm happy with both. So do you want to play Baku or do you want to play Oscar Bob? I'm happy with both. I really am. I think Oscar Bob he's not a child. He's a young man, for instance, a lot younger than me. But yeah, I think he is a guy, for instance, I trust and to do a job. And and he's exciting. He'll be fresh. So yeah, so I'm all right. Even if they give him 45 minutes each, we'll see how it goes. How Chelsea set up. I don't think it'll be another 4-4. In any way whatsoever. Cole Palmer will probably be good for them. They have improved a little bit, Chelsea, for instance, in the results. But they're still Chelsea, and there's still a long way to go. And with them, whether if Pochettino stays to the end of the season, I'll be very surprised. Maybe not. I don't know. I think I've always said he's overrated, and for instance, and the way that Chelsea are, considering they spent £1 billion on their team, yeah, it just For instance, I still think they're a little bit disjointed. They are playing better. They're getting a few better results. They're on against Villa. Was a bit of a surprise. But then again, I always thought again, but this is the media and this is me and whatever. And I was thinking like, that for instance, Villa in the title race. No, Villa not in the title race. I never thought Villa in the title race. So and they had their win loss. So they'll beat City, beat Arsenal, and but they've also lost to Newcastle. So for instance, they're top 16, easy by far, but not in the what's it called? Might make top four, but not. I think that'll go to Spurs, but I don't. I don't think they're quite at the what's it called the level to win the Premier League title. I just don't think they got the squad. They're on the right track, but top six. But not surprised, but so not overly surprised by Chelsea beating them. The thing is about Chelsea, for instance, you don't know which Chelsea's going to turn up. They've got some decent players, etc. They got some players, and you've got Gallagher, for instance. But I thought he was supposed to be on the way out. I don't know. This is it about them. I'm just not. I'm just. You just don't know what you're going to get. For instance, and one of the say a lot of deception. Line for instance. I see it I really see that either. Hello? We will be one two of them. And what's it called? I expect a bang it up. LV said, what's it called? They said he will either stuff them, for instance, or it'll be a tight 1-2-1 to win or something like that. So I don't give out score predictions. I don't want to do that. I don't believe I will get the W. For instance, I don't believe it's going to be like Copenhagen for people 7-0. I don't know. You got to give them respect a bit or whatever. And I don't think it's going to be that kind of game. What's it called? The 7-0 kind of thing. A big high scoring game. I don't think we'll stuff them. Can't see it. I don't. We're saying that though. You never know. This is football. So I will never know. But I think, for instance, with the squad we have, even to replace Bernardo. We've still got options on the left, etc. I don't want to see Phil on the left out if Bernardo's not playing, but I do believe because I want to put it inside. He's playing fantastic at the moment. Still got Alvarez to come on, etc. For instance, but yeah, if we can play Doko on the left hand side and Oscar Bob on the right hand side, on the left hand side and Doko on the right hand side, I'll be happy with that. But I don't think Pep will do that. But I do believe we'll get the win. LB was yapping about 12:30 kickoffs. You know, like puts pressure on to get you get your 12:30s, etc. It'll be for instance, be good for the other team. You know, like you can sit back and relax and puts more pressure on the other teams. I do believe, for instance, that he's right there. But they are tricky 12:30 kickoffs. I know Liverpool don't like him. Klopp doesn't like them, but we're not going to listen to his moaning next season because he won't be here. For instance, but I don't. But for instance, well, I can't see Burnley do us any favours. Vinny, good man, top man, and against Arsenal, I can't see Liverpool dropping points against Bournemouth. I think it'll be need to go back. I'm just hoping for City, and we'll go down to the status quo. Because if we drop points at this game, etc., it's going to put 10 times more pressure on that, and we've lost our advantage against the Brentford game. But Liverpool and points. I think there's a lot of worry about City fans, and I hope that does a favour. Liverpool points. I can just play their game to the end of the season. I don't want to rely on other teams. They will drop. Okay, for some just they haven't got the quality, and just drop up one like Arsenal did last season. Liverpool are a shock team, a shock side because quite honestly, for instance, they've got a fantastic forward line. They've got a fantastic their midfield. I like McAllister. I've always wanted McAllister. I think really got a good coup when they got McAllister. But I don't believe, for instance, their defence, I can see against Burnley was one. You know, for instance, what? For instance, they are goal at the back. So, for instance, the defence is not playing that way. Am I? Oh, yeah. I just don't think as good as they were on the Premier League. They pushed the season against Villa. So I think they will. They keep talking about the Klopp effect leaving and blah blah blah. But so I think you can't be got at. We're saying that though. So we're both moments rather than anything else. So but I think it's good, but I just think we can score more. So I think I play our game. I think we've got the chance to play it, and unless somebody has a difference to Chelsea, I reckon much Sterling did a good job for us when he was there. He's very level where he and his name Raheem and the whole getting the recognition you place on the just your goal Terry up some the main he's doing well Cole Palmer and I wish him success since he's always there in Chelsea. So I do believe we'll be ending the stage by the end of this week. So Liverpool, Arsenal. Difference is Arsenal 6, so brought us there. I mean, the goal difference, but I just feel that for instance, Man City will be scoring more goals than both of them. But I just think we'll be points above. It's not going to be a massive point. I don't think we will. So it'll be an interesting game. So I do believe that we will win. So there you go, and that's that. I will, yeah, quite confident in the team who plays. For instance, as a, like I can't see it being a 4-4. But yeah. Apart from that, any other news which have come up? Uh, uh, what was his name? Heard Man City are a what was he from? What was his name? Danny Mills. No, was it Danny Mills? Yeah. Colin. What was he calling? Man City are a team. For instance, what was he saying now, Danny? Sorry, I do apologise. Actually, yeah, I watched it this morning, and what's it called? He had a go at Man City about our Champions League. What's it called? You know, I think Man City have done over there. I heard some United fans say Man City need to go away and blast teams 4 and 5 goals. Don't need to do it. I do think we're the strongest team in the Champions League, and not being a biased Man City fan, I just think, for instance, looking at the other sides, I just can't see us losing, but you never know. Football. I hope they don't. But there you go. But other than that, I will love you and leave you. I'll speak to you after the game. For instance, the next day, probably the Monday, Sunday, Monday. And yeah, hopefully Man City wins. Come to Thailand, have a safe flight, wear a helmet, be riding a bike. Far too many accidents with people not wearing bike helmets, even when bike. Make sure you have insurance. It's hot, so bring your suntan oil. For instance, for you guys, to me, it's perfect and fine. Whatever, I've got a fan here, don't even use air conditioning. For instance, yeah. But other than that, I wish we have a nice weekend. If you're going to the game, to the Etihad, enjoy. For instance, I miss the Etihad going over so much. Believe you me, maybe 30 odd degrees in, but you know, and I came to my staff. You know, maybe you should go back to England. But then again, it's all the nonsense what's going on in the UK with all the woke culture and oh god, I don't even understand what that word means, and it just scares the crap out of me going back to England at the moment. Oh, it really does. I'd rather go live in Denmark like I used to do before. For instance, going to England. Oh, it's scary. It really is. It's just the liberal left and got the parliament and the recession going on. It's downright depressing. Yeah. So anyway, but if you are, just keep on smiling. Hope you had a nice Valentine's Day. Have a good week. Hope you go to the Etihad. For instance, and if you are, enjoy. And I'll speak to you in a couple of days. Take care. Bye bye.